Welcome back, everybody, to Shyhammer Fantasy Battle Reports, and today we have my Orcs and Goblins versus Aaron's Vampire Counts at 2,400 points at the Dice Dojo again. And again, I'm just trying to get ready for Blood in the Sun. I fought a Vampire Count army literally the weekend before this, and I got my ass kicked because I didn't have any magic weapons ready for some ethereal units. So this time I kind of came prepared for that, and it's a different vampire count army than the last one. So here's our list. We're gonna go over. I got my boar boys, and my boar boys have uh, Gorbad Ironclaw in the front with the big giant gold scythe in his gold armor and his yellowish gold pig. And the boar boys, I got 9 boar boys with a flaming banner in the front. Um, and then over here we have a unit of 3 trolls. I also have 2 units of 20 night goblins with short bows and fanatics. I got my goblin wolf heroes. One's on the one on the left is a I don't think if I might have took him as a lord in this game, but I actually upgraded him. He got promoted. He's no longer a hero. He's a lord. He has magic weapons included, as well as magic armor. And then the guy on the right, he was actually a model I created to become Gatilla the Hunter, with his massive bone bow. But today we're using him as a level 2 knight or level 2 goblin shaman on a wolf with the lore of undeath. Behind them we have a big block of 30 savage orcs, or 29 savage orcs with a level 4 orc shaman on the right corner. And then I have 2 doom divers, a mangler squig, and a Ragnarok. And that was about it for my army. Let's go over Aaron's army now. So first of all, I'd like to apologize ahead of time if I sound stuffed up. I am just getting over a cold. But let's go over what Aaron has here. Aaron has a big block of 44 ghouls, and in the front he has a level 1 necromancer, I want to say, just to give him an invocation to restore some ghouls when they die. But that's a huge block of poison attacks. Over here, he brought 2 units of Black Knights. The Black Knights have, one of them has a Vampire Lord, and the other one has Manfred von Karstein with them. And then that Black Knight has a very crooked spear. Over here we have 2 units of zombies. I want to say they're about like 30 deep each. I'm not really going to count how many there are. And then we have the Mortis Engine Coven Throne, or whatever it's called. It's the one with the Banshee Screams and the Pulse and the Regen. Over here we have another huge block of skeletons with spears. I want to say it's about close to 40 deep. And let's go over our spells. For my spells, I got Fist of Gork, Foot of Gork, Hand of Gork, and here we go. And then my level 2 got Dark Riders and Grave Call. And then for him, he actually basically has every vampire spell because he has 3 casters, and then 1 is Lore of Death. So Manfred gets 3 spells. We're playing Dawn Attack. Dawn Attack is basically where you separate the board into sections and you roll the dice, and 1 you get the left flank, 2 you get the right flank, and then 3, 4, 5 you get the middle, and 6 you get to choose wherever. So you can kind of see where we kind of got screwed over. His biggest screw up right here, just based on Dawn Attack, is his general got the flank alone. He is literally too far from his units for them to get his inspiring presence and move forward at a march. So his guys are going to come just shambling forward, which kind of screws him up. Over here you can see my how I deployed. My Ragnarok and my Savages and my Mangler got the right flank. And then over here, well, here's a picture of his side actually. You can see his generals on the table edge, and then everybody else is kind of trying to move towards him, but he really didn't put that as good as he could. The woods by me are actually, I got Abyssal Woods, which means it causes fear, which does have, or I'm sorry, I think that's his unit that's in there, but it doesn't do anything. And then basically you could also see everybody else I got kind of put in the middle anyways. We're going to go ahead and start turn 1, and it's Vampire Counts turn 1. So first thing first is Vanguards. I have 2 Goblin Wolf Riders on the right flank, and they're going to go ahead and fly up around the house, going towards those Wraiths and a Banshee, I believe it is, or just, I think it might just be 3 Wraiths. Over here on his turn, he goes ahead and moves Manfred up with the Black Knights, which is kind of a bad thing because now everybody's too far, and they're just going to go ahead and walk up at a very slow pace. The Coven thrown in the back, walked into the forest, and that forest is a venom thicket, but the dangerous terrain test really doesn't apply to them because they move as they are ethereal. For the magic phase, he got 10 power dice on the Winds of Magic, and he's going to go ahead and throw 4 dice onto the Purple Sun of Xerxes, and the first thing he does, throws 4 dice, and he gets a miscast. Double sixes, I can't stop that. And he throws it because Manfred's the one who's tossing it out there, and he throws it right at the goblins. He's actually trying to aim for Gorbad, but I think that was the range he could get it on. But he gets 11 on his miscast table, and 11 is a power drain. He loses 1 on the D3, so he loses that spell, can't use it again. And then not only that, but he loses some more of his power dice. So he's going to go ahead and use a couple dice onto the Raise the Dead. He gets it off, throws this unit of zombies right in front of my goblins to force out the fanatics. Fanatics, I'm just going to go ahead and throw them through the zombies, and they don't eat enough. I thought they would have just like destroyed the whole unit, but they didn't. They only killed about like 8 zombies out of like, I don't know how many brought up, 8, 5, 10, 15 zombies, I believe it is. I thought the fanatics were dead here. I thought they fell into the vortex. They're going to die. And then he's like, oh no, you got to do a initiative test. I'm like, oh, that's right. So I go ahead and do an initiative test, or I think, yeah, it is an initiative test. And they actually both lived. So the fanatics are swirling around in that vortex. They're like, well, fuck it, we're spinning anyways. Let's just spin around in this vortex. And that's basically it right there. We're going to go to Orcs and Goblins turn 1. And of course, Gorbad fails Animosity. He continues the streak of how many games, starting off, Gorbad fails Animosity. And then the Night Goblins right there with the short bows failed Animosity as well. Which means they... and the Savages fail Animosity. Oh my god. So let's go through this chain of events. Gorbad rolls a 6 onto his Animosity chart, which means he has to charge his closest unit. He gets a free move, wheel facing them. Well, guess what? The nearest unit is actually not the zombies that are right there, but Manfred that's hiding behind the building, because that's who I could see. So I get my free move, I charge, and it runs into that building. Unfortunately, since I ran through the woods, on Cavalry I have to take a dangerous terrain test, and sure enough, 1 boar boy dies. Alright, but now that it's a failed charge, I'm closer to that Purple Sun of Xerxes, or whatever, however you say that. Let's move on to who can move. I have my Arachnarok Spider move over on the other side of the building, ready to go over the building. I have my Mangler Squig just move towards the crowd where everybody's at. I have these 2 guys moving far back, away from the charge arc of those guys, but the one guy's going to be able to handle them no problem because he has a magic weapon, and if not, he's just going to hold them up for a turn or so. And then these guys, the fanatics, 1 ran into the trees, and 1 is continuing to swirl around in the vortex. So get this is basically how the game trolls me. I have my level 4 caster squabbling with Animosity, which means he can't cast any spells. And what do I get on the Winds of Magic? 9 power dice. So it's the first time in a long time I could actually throw out like a foot with a comfortable amount of buffer of 3 dice. I could do something else. And guess what? I can't, because my level 4 is stuck in freaking squabbling with the other savages. So instead I use 5 dice onto the Dark Riders. He dispels it, I believe, with maybe just the dice or maybe the dispel scroll. Then I try to do Grave Call, and I failed Grave Call as well. So nothing happened in Magic phase, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead into Shooting phase next. I got my 2 Doom Divers aiming at those Black Knights, and the first Doom Diver gets a direct hit with a 2, and the second one gets a direct hit with a 2. That's very odd and very good rolling skills. Anyways, they are toughness 4, so they're going to be harder to kill than the normal toughness 3 things that I could normally nail. But at the same time, I get through their armor saves and I kill off 4 of them. So he lucked out. He still has 1 left. Over here, I forgot to say that the Night Goblins had a force charge as well, besides Gorbad, and they got into the zombies. So they're going to go ahead and just kill off the zombies. I don't even think the zombies killed 1 guy. because they're always strikes last, and they just got their ass kicked by some goblins. So we're gonna go into vampires turn 2 next. We're gonna go into charges first. He charges both units of zombies into my trolls, and only one connects. The other one actually gets a fail charge, and I'm thinking he's just trying to tie up the trolls so that way they don't kind of go for his ghouls, I guess, because his ghouls is basically his biggest unit right there as of right now. Anyways, moves up the Black Knight and the single Vampire Lord. He goes ahead and moves up the Corpse Cart, and then he moves up the Coven Throne. Coven Throne did its regen bubble thing, and it didn't reach my Wolf Rider. He rolls for Winds of Magic. Winds of Magic, he gets 5 power dice, and then he re-rolls the 2 to a 6 with Manfred's ability, and now he gets a 9 power dice, which is a good gamble he did there. The Necromancer on the Corpse Cart, even though this is an older picture, he should be moved up a little bit more, but he does Dance Macabre, and he does it onto, I believe, the zombies that are in combat right there with the trolls. He gets it off. I'm not going to stop that. I don't really care about that spell too much. And then he rolls for, I believe it's Curse of Years. He gets double 6s, and he throws it literally onto my unit of Boar Boys with Gorbat in it, and that's pretty much my stronger unit there, who keeps running into a friggin' building anyways. So he gets it off, and the way Curse of Years works is basically every time he rolls on this magic phase a 6, they basically take a wound, no save, no armor save. But on the next magic phase, my magic phase, it'll be 5s, and then on his magic phase, the following turn, it'll be 4s, and eventually they're just going to wither away and die. It'll be 3 2s, and then I think it just keeps going on 2s, which sucks. He tried to do, I believe, an invocation to the Black Knights. I stopped that because I couldn't stop this one with his double 6s, and I forgot what else he tried to do, but I basically stopped the rest of the spells, and he didn't really have that many dice left. So the Purple Sun of Xerius moves up, and look at that. It moves that way towards the Boar Boys and totally clips the Boar Boys. And one more Boar Boy dies because he failed the initiative test. This is getting pretty bad. So my Boar Boys, they decided to run into the castle wall and literally sit there and get hit by a Purple Sun, Curse of Years, and a tree. And yeah, they haven't done anything since. So over here, the Banshees, they're gonna go ahead and nag at my Goblin Wolf Rider, and he does 2 wounds, and we later revisit it and found out it was only 1 wound he should have done. And then, because the Banshee Scream on this is slightly different than a normal Scream, just because he didn't know like how many Banshees are actually screaming, and then it was just the number that we saw. Anyways, over here at the close combat, the Trolls killed off like, I want to say like 8 or 9 zombies. Zombies failed to wound. They do have ranks on me though, but this one they're gonna crumble and they lose like 3 more. And then let's go into Orcs and Goblins turn 2 now. Gorbat fails his animosity again on turn 2, and he decides to charge again into the wall, and yeah, that does nothing again. Over here, the Goblin Fanatic died by rolling double 1s and going in the wrong direction anyways, because that's what he should have got for trying to go into Gorbat. Over here, my Lord Red Chicken Head over here is going to go ahead and charge into the Wraiths that were hiding in the trees, and as you can see, I only took 1 wound there. My Mangler goes ahead and moves up a little bit, and then my Arachnarok moves up just a bit over the building now that the Wraiths are gone, and he's going to go for a side flank on one of those units over there. And then my Goblin Shaman, he flies behind the Coven Throne here, or whatever it is, Coven Throne Mortis Engine, and he just kind of is ready to start releasing units in the back. Magic phase, I get 4 power dice, and which is pretty low, and I'm going to go ahead and do it onto Gravecall. I use 1 dice plus the Magic Mushroom on Gravecall, pop up a unit of skeletons right there. They're facing the side flank of the ghouls, and now it's causing my opponents to think like, shit, he has troops in the back now. Even though it's only skeletons, it'll tie up that unit of ghouls for a turn, and the skeletons cost me nothing. The other spell, I believe, kind couldn't really. I think I tried to hand a Gork onto my savages, but he stopped it, and that was about it. Over here, this going on. I forgot to dispel the curse of years. Oh my god! So I lose one more guy. Got a 5 and 6 on it, and why did I forget to do that? And Gorbat took a wound too, as you can see. He has a little token there. The purple sun moves south a little bit, and it's right in the middle of all my units. So I'm just kind of looking like, oh, I could kill my Doom Diver, I could kill my goblins. I don't know what it's gonna do. We're gonna go into shooting phase. Shooting phase. The Howdah crew is gonna go ahead and shoot at, I believe, who would be in range? It would be like the Black Knights or the Corpse Cart, and they just basically deflected it. And then my Doom Divers, they're gonna go ahead and both of them are gonna shoot at Manfred, who's been creeping up over here. And one gets a direct hit, and the other one drifts off 4 inches and comes back 3. So they both get a hit, and they kill off 3 Black Knights there. And yeah, I'm weakening up Manfred's unit before he even gets to me. This unit of Night Goblins that are staring at Manfred, or actually this is the one on the right side. Yeah, these guys are going to go ahead and shoot at the Corpse Cart, and they fail to wound it, and then we're going to go into close combat. Close combat, my Lord Wolf Boy over here, Lord Chickenhead, he goes ahead and kills off 1 white. I changed his weapons because last game I played against a Vampire Count army, I had him with a great weapon, which, I mean, strength 6, that's pretty nice, but right now he, you know, like, it did nothing against Ethereal. So right now I have him going against these Ethereal guys, excuse me, these Ethereal guys, and I gave him a Sword of Might on this game, so he has a strength 5, killed 1, he has 4 attacks because he's a Lord now, and that's basically that. Kills 1, I believe the others crumble because he got a charge and a side flank and stuff like that, or a rear flank, I think. No, it's a side flank. And the other 2 crumble, so he basically wiped out that whole unit of Wraiths. And he's, I think, yeah, I just overrun him to get away from the throne because that throne's going to just basically do its little move and kill him, or the Banshees are going to scream at him. Over here, the Trolls continue their rampage on the zombies. They just think it's funny, and they kill off 5 zombies. And then 3 more crumble again. And we're going to go into, I believe that's it. We're going to go into Vampire's turn 3 now. So first thing he does is goes ahead and he does that tomb move or whatever it is. The blasphemous tomb that gives him regen bubble and does damage on area of effect on this throne. And it actually doesn't get that far of a range. So he goes ahead and charges his zombies up to hit the trolls. He also charges his corpse card in, and then over here he charges Manfred into the Night Goblins, and the Night Goblins stand and shoot. They shoot. They actually get a lot of hits and a lot of wounds, and they actually end up killing off 1 Black Knight who failed an armor save. So that's pretty funny to me that goblins could do so much damage. Over here you can see that he also charges into his Vampire Lord into the side flank of the Trolls, as well as the Corpse Cart, and like I said, the zombies connected as well. And then over here, he actually just moved his Necromancer onto the other side of the ghouls, so that way they don't get, the skeletons don't attack the Necromancer specifically when they do their attacks. Magic phase, he gets 9 power dice. And then first spell he does is Soul Blight onto the Trolls, which lowers, I believe, their toughness and strength, maybe? Or toughness and weapon skill. I forgot which one it is. And he gets double 6s. So he gets the spell off. It's going to hex them, but not only that, he gets a huge blast bubble right there on top of his Vampire Lord. And it kills off like a couple zombies. I know like 3 or 4 zombies took a hit. His Corpse Cart took a nasty one, and the Corpse Cart died. Well, actually, I think the Corpse Cart already had a wound or 2 on it already, but from the shooting, I just... but anyways, and then he goes ahead and blows up the other Black Knight. So he goes for another spell, Invocation in the Heck, and hopefully to get some units and wounds back. And sure enough, he gets double 6s again, and it's on this guy over here. So it blows up small radius and it kills off like 6 ghouls. Oh man, poor guy. He's getting a bunch of double 6s. So yeah, we're going to go to close combat. Trolls kill off 4 zombies. And then the zombies, I believe... Oh no, I'm sorry. The Lord kills off one troll, finishes him off, and then I actually lose combat resolution. He has ranks, he has banners, he has a side flank, he killed off one of my trolls, and basically makes them flee in panic, and they run, and he mows them down with just the zombies. The Vampire Lord sits over there just kind of waiting to possibly get a side flank on Gorbad. But since they overran, they released the Fanatics. The Fanatics are going for that unit directly in front of it, not the closer one, because the closer one I just had to just go ahead because you got to stop 8 inches away. So I released the Fanatics. Fanatics pop out, and they kill off like 4 more zombies or 5 more zombies, leaving only 4 there. And then we're gonna go ahead and start Orcs and Goblins turn 3 now. Night Goblins fail animosity and charge into the first closest unit, which is the skeletons. The Ragnarok Spider charges into the rear of that Vampire Lord and connects. These skeletons up here actually charge, surprise, surprise, into the side flank of the ghouls. And then the Fanatic, he decides to move in that angle, literally about like 10 inches, and he pops through not only the Vampire Lord, but also through my Ragnarok, and that hurts. He only wounds 1 wound onto the Ragnarok, but he did like 2 onto the Vampire Lord, so the Vampire Lord only has 1 wound left, and yeah, we're still standing. And then the Mangler moves closer, and then also, as you can see, this is just kind of chaos over here. I reform Gorbad to face the side flank over here of the zombies, hopefully to just help the goblins out. Plus, I'm not really worried about Manfred. I was hoping to shoot Manfred down, and then if anything, have those goblins hold Manfred up. Over here, I moved the Lord Chickenhead and his Shaman Boy. They just kind of moved out of the way, and as you can see, they both have a wound from that stupid Coven Throne. But they move all the way over here. Magic Phase get 5 powered ice again. It's a very low number, and I use all 5 powered ice to get rid of that purple sun. I am sick of it. I don't want to see it just rolling around anymore. So, and then I was just kind of like, there's not much more I could pull up. I could pull up probably another unit of Graveguard, but I just want to make sure I get rid of that purple sun. Shooting Phase, throw both Doom Divers at Manfred like I told you I would, and 1 misfires and blows up. The other guy drifts off and misses entirely, so that didn't go as planned. But I still got my Night Goblins here. Night Goblins are going to go ahead and shoot, and they miss. Ooh, this might not be as good as I originally thought. Close combat, all these zombies over here are attacking my goblins. My goblins fear them, so the accuracy is a little bit lower. I only kill 2, and then they kill 2 of me. They have ranks and a banner, so I lose, but Gorbad's in range, and I get a rerollable. They stick, and I reform. Over here, the Ragnarok failed to wound the Vampire Lord, and the Vampire Lord actually failed to wound the Ragnarok, and it was a stalemate. I mean, I have 16 attacks, and anything I got through, I think he had a ward save on it, the Armor of Destiny, so I really couldn't damage him, but I charged, and he had only 1 wound left from that Fanatic. He actually crumbled, so he's dead. And that's a way to win combat. Reform my Ragnarok to face that ghoul horde. And then over here, the ghouls kill off 4 skeletons. The skeletons killed off 1 or 2 ghouls. And that was that. And we're going to go ahead and start Vampires turn 4 now. So, first thing he does, which I didn't see coming at all, was his Manfred actually could clip one of the boar boys. So he declared a charge and clipped Gorbad's whole unit from the rear, and didn't see that one coming at all. He charges in this lone zombie over here into the side flank of the goblins, and then his magic phase, he got 5 powered ice, uses Manfred's ability to re-roll one of them, and now he got 8 powered ice, which again, that's ridiculous. Helps out my dispel a little bit, but not really. He goes for Soul Blight onto Gorbad's unit, and I let it through because I'm worried about more stuff like Curse of Years or something like that. Then he goes for Hellish Vigor onto Manfred's unit, and I tried to stop it, but I couldn't. And sure enough, he's going to go ahead and get rerolls on his wounds, and I'm a lower toughness now. This guy, the Coven Throne, moved up a little bit, and not only that, but the Banshees are going to go ahead and scream at my skeletons, and they pop off one skeleton. And then that was about it for that. We're gonna go into close combat. Close combat, he kills off two skeletons, and I kill off probably like one or two ghouls, but his ghouls basically crumble my skeletons, and they reform to face the Lord Chickenhead. So over here, I throw out a challenge with Gorbad, and he gladly accepts with the champion. He's afraid of Manfred getting his ass kicked by Gorbad. So Gorbad already had that wound on him, but he decided to do 3 wounds with his always strikes first onto the champion. He's gloating, saying, "I crushed that puny skeleton." And Black Knight really wasn't whatever, it was a sacrifice. But Manfred, on the other hand, killed off 2 boar boys, including the one that had the flaming banner. Ugh. But now I got these 2 guys. I reformed them to face their threat in the rear, and we'll see how that goes. Over here, the Night Goblins do not fear the zombies this turn. They kill 2 of them, and then the zombies all killed 3 Night Goblins. I had one. They had basically 1 plus the charge and the side flank, so they lost combat and they overrun and they catch the goblins, and they're going for my Doom Diver on the following turn, most likely. And then over here, it's I guess it's my turn, turn 4. The goblins are facing the rear flank of Manfred, and they're going to play 2 at this game, and they connect and they close the door, and Manfred's going to lose combat resolution for that. Now he has to figure out what he's going to do. Over here, my Ragnarok and Lord Red Chickenhead is going to go ahead and connect into the front of the ghouls, and the Mangler runs right through the ghouls. The Mangler kills off 6 guys, which I always get low numbers with those. This Fanatic's just kind of swirling around. He has no idea where he's going. We got 7 power dice for the magic phase, and I try to do, I believe, the Foot of Gork, and he dispelled it. So we're going to go right into shooting phase. Shooting phase, I'm going to go ahead and throw a Doom Diver, my only Doom Diver, onto the Coven Throne, which I think is the only valid target right now. I get a direct hit, and I put 2 wounds on it, or a wound on it. And then, I'm sorry, I think I'd put 3 wounds on it. So yeah. And then, over here, the Ragnarok starts going to town. Close combat, he just starts destroying. He killed Lord Chickenhead, killed off just the Necromancer, while as the Ragnarok killed off like 6 ghouls in the first. All the ghouls attack back with their poison attacks, and they put on a huge chunk of wounds onto my Ragnarok, which is very dangerous. I know that they have poison, but he's a horde buster, and I'm going to use him. So they put on 4 wounds onto my Ragnarok, but my Ragnarok does Thunder Stomps, kills off like 4 or 5 more, and Crumbling's going to kill off a huge chunk more. Oh my god, I just whittled away those numbers. That was a beautiful combo right there. And as you can see, this is the aftermath. So we're going to go to the big combat over here. He challenges Gorbad. He doesn't want to fight all the goblins and the boar boy. So I accept with Gorbad. Gorbad goes first, and Gorbad whiffs. Again, he whiffs badly. He also has debuffs on him. His strength versus toughness or something like that's going to be all gimped. He puts a wound onto Gorbad, but guess what? I got a rank and a rear charge. I put a couple wounds onto Manfred, and that's going to be bad news for him. We're going to go into Vampire Accounts turn 5 now, and first thing he does is obviously charge the Doom Diver with zombies, and I can't do anything, so I just sit there and take it. He gets 10 power dice. He does, I believe, like an invocation or something like that. It restores a wound, gets another wound back for successfully casting the spell. And then we're going to go to close combat. Close combat, Gorbad took off 2 wounds right off there. He goes ahead and tries to kill Gorbad, misses, and he crumbles and dies. Gorbad's pointing at his dead body right there, saying, "See that, boys? That's the dead vampire lord right there. I killed him myself." Should put his head on his little spike there. Anyways, he should use that scythe is what he should do. So crumbling happens because the vampire lord dies. I'm going to go ahead and attack with the Ragnarok anyways and finish off that unit. Over here, the Doom Divers, they kill off the guys in the squad, kill off 2 of them, and I believe they actually destroy the Doom Divers zombies, so it doesn't really matter at this point. Ragnarok just continues to rampage across these ghouls here and crumbles them all. And I believe the Ragnarok had one wound left at the end of the game. But I like this combo right here. Lord Red Chicken Head and Ragnarok Spider, they're a good combo. And they basically took care of a horde of ghouls, like 40 ghouls. If I had to pick an MVP, it would be very hard at this game. It's obviously not the Savages, because the Savages actually stayed by the house the whole game. They did fail 2 animosities, never got a foot of Gorkov, never did anything like that. The Doom Divers did a lot of damage. They took out about like maybe a combined 7 Black Knights. They also took a couple wounds onto that Coven Throne, like 3 or 4 wounds onto the Coven Throne. So the Doom Divers did very well. The Ragnarok, even though he did, with the help of Lord Chickenhead, take out like 44 zombies or something, or ghouls, I would have to give it to probably Lord Chickenhead. He did a good job. He took out the Wraiths himself. He took out the Necromancer. He chased around. He made the Coven Throne kind of chase him around for a little while, and he held up. He took out a good chunk of guys. He did more than Gorbad did. Gorbad actually just whiffed badly, whiffed on his versus Manfred. The only reason he won was because of crumbling. And the Fanatics did a good job. They took out a couple wounds there. Probably the biggest MVP was all the miscasts that my other player did, because that kind of killed his game. Lost spells, he lost his power dice, he lost chunks of his guys. Yeah, I would have to give his magic phase the MVP for me. Then the utility player would be Lord Red Chicken Head. Anyways, I had a fun time playing this game. If you guys like my videos, please hit the like button, and then or subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll be putting up more videos very soon. I got like 3 more right now coming up. I have a game versus High Elves, a game versus Chaos, and a game my dad versus my brother, Skaven versus Ogres. And that game lasted forever, but the video would look a lot shorter than what it was. Anyway, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.